Hey everyone, this is Walk-ins Welcome, and I'm your host, Ivy Dai, chef and food writer. Today's episode is sponsored by Culture OC, the premier arts and cultures resource right here in Orange County at cultureoc.org. Today on the show, we have Sumter Pendergrast, founder and CEO of Sidecar Doughnuts. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so did you actually end up starting Sidecar with your wife?
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I came up with the idea. Basically the story goes, I was really interested in coffee. I was in the clothing business prior to this. I was really interested in coffee, and Third Wave Coffee was kind of making a move, having a moment, and I loved the idea of the craft of Third Wave Coffee. And so I went to a coffee school down in San Diego, and a guy there had a kind of one of those donut machines that would drop the donuts kind of over the conveyor
The little
belt.
mini donut, right? I thought about that business.
Went nuts.
It
would shock me how visceral the experience, like the reaction was from these people just by the donut, And so I thought, hey, coffee, there's a lot of people in the coffee game. Why don't I add donuts to coffee?
Yeah.
And I remember telling my wife, I think I want to open a donut shop. It took a little time to get her to buy in, but once she saw the vision, she was all in, and she was a huge reason for the success.
Did you know that back in the day, they would promote Chinese food and donuts to be sold in the same location or right next door to each other because they were, like cheap and easy to produce?
Yeah, I did not know that, but it's a cool fact.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So then once is it pronounced Qilin?
Qilin. Yeah.
Qilin, your wife got behind it, then what was she doing? What were you doing?
Yeah.
How was it like?
She was a portrait photographer.
Okay.
So one of the main kind of drivers of the success at the beginning, we were testing recipes, and I had a little art studio that I did kind of fine art in, and I converted that into basically a donut factory.
Oh, amazing.
And to test recipes, to just try and figure things out. And we were throwing lots of donuts away. And so my wife was like, why don't we just invite people, friends and family over on a Saturday? We'll give them free donuts and coffee rather than throw them away.
Yeah, good
and
idea.
That little idea turned into really the catalyst for the whole thing. It went from maybe 10 friends the first Saturday to 45-minute line a month later.
Oh my God.
At the time, Instagram was brand new. It was starting to come out, this idea of taking pictures and businesses using it. A lot of people were personally taking photographs and sharing it with friends, but businesses weren't quite on the platform yet. And so we were an early adopter, and her being a portrait photographer was a huge part of the imagery that captured so many people's attention. And people came at the beginning. It was like a Saturday morning, you come in flip-flops and maybe like a hoodie.
Yeah.
It turned and people were like in Gucci and looking good because she would take pictures.
Oh,
and
my
we
goodness.
would post them. And one of the big moves was, at the time, Instagram, the company Instagram, had its own kind of page.
Oh,
right?
yeah, at that
so
moment.
they were looking for companies who were using the platform as a marketing tool, right? And so we had probably 400 people as followers, and then they followed us. Instagram,
oh my God!
Itself.
Oh,
and
I remember that. I remember the early days. Yeah.
400 to about 25,000 in a week.
Oh my gosh!
And so that was huge. I mean, just to get the notoriety and the publicity was a really big factor in the early stages of
like 2012,
Sidecar.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, and then so because I see pictures of a cart. Did it start as a truck, or did you have a location?
Yeah, no, so we had that little test kitchen that we converted into a test kitchen.
Yeah.
And then I bought a old I think it's 53, it's somewhere in the 50s, Harvester Metro. And that was inspired by the old Helms Bakery trucks. LA's famous, the Helms Bakery, it's in Culver City.
Yeah.
And they used to kind of go around to neighborhoods in the 50s and 60s. I forget when they finally ended it. And they'd ring a little bell like the ice cream man, and the guy would walk out of the truck, go to the back, and there'd be these long 6-foot kind of drawers full of donuts. And I wanted to recreate that.
Yeah.
So I found some Helms drawers. I got the truck first. Then I found some Helms drawers up in East LA that I went got refurbished, put them in there. And so we started by doing catering events like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's amazing. What's your favorite donut?
I think it depends on the day
Oh.
or the week or the month. You know,
Yeah.
it's the classics are always so good. From the butter and salt, the old fashioned. Huckleberry is the most popular.
Huckleberry, yeah, which I saw.
It's our take of a blueberry. When we first started, we had teamed up with Stumptown Coffee.
Okay.
Stumptown out of Portland, and Portland was big on huckleberries, like naturally foraged huckleberries from the Northwest. And we wanted to do a berry kind of donut, and blueberry had been done, so we landed on the huckleberry.
Yeah.
And it's turned out to be the most popular donut we have.
Okay. So you have 9 locations now, is it? Because before
9. We just opened
8.
first out of state in Salt Lake City in January this year.
So why
that's
there?
9.
Well, because all the restaurants in Southern California, right?
Yeah, I mean, we went to Utah for a couple reasons. One is their love of sweets. A lot of Salt Lake City Mormons that live there do not drink alcohol, but they do love sweets.
Oh yes, you're right.
And like the crumbles
no coffee
from
or
there.
tea either. Is it coffee or
no coffee?
Okay.
And so crumble. There's now Swig, which is a kind of drive-through soda business. So
interesting.
Their one vice happens to be sweets. So we wanted to come and bring a whole new sweet brand to Salt Lake City. On top of that, there's a lot of synergy between the two areas.
Yeah.
A lot of people from Salt Lake City come here to go to Disneyland and are very aware of the brand because of that.
Amazing.
And then vice versa, we go there to ski. So a lot of cross-pollination, so the brand is well known in that area. And then third, my business partner lives there. So 3 good reasons.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we were, you just met Wing, who was on earlier. And he was, he's someone who's been around for like almost 40 years and almost, 50 locations. And then, someone would look at you who has almost, like 10 locations. Yeah. But, where is it that you find that you feel like you have more to learn? Like, how do you, Yeah.
There is a lot to learn, and it was great talking to him because we were talking about earlier before we started, is there's just so much wisdom from people who have done it before, gone through the process, tried all the different things that you think about as should you franchise, should they be company-owned stores, how many should you do, how many can you do without compromising quality and all the stuff that you built the brand on. And everybody goes to that, and people solve that issue in different ways. And it's interesting to talk to people who have done it because we're in that. It's like one of those points where you really can't go backwards. It's, but so the only path is really to go forward, build more stores, but how do you not compromise the quality and the experience that you've built the brand on as you build more of them and you bring more people on and you ask more people to daily deliver on the promises to the customer. And it gets harder and harder the more people you add on.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, because I know if people who don't know the brand Sidecar Doughnuts uses like fresh, right? Is it fresh huckleberry puree?
Yeah, I mean, we get them fresh foraged, and we do literally make everything in-house from scratch. Like not one, I mean, literally every glaze, every topping, every pudding or everything's
cheesecake,
made inside,
right?
In-house, right? So that's a lot. That's a lot.
And then also I hear that you bake, is it hourly? Is that right? Or
so one of our moat, so to speak, is really the made fresh every hour. So we have 14 to 16 flavors. We make each one even more than every hour, really, because they go faster than that.
Oh, wow.
But we're cooking them all day long in small batches, 12, 24 at a time. And that means you're always getting a really fresh product, and a lot of times you're getting one that's actually warm. And there's nothing better than a warm donut. I mean, when you have it, it's kind of like, it's a life changer.
Yeah. Yeah, what is the emotional connection with the donuts, you know? I mean, I know you just like happened upon it by chance, but you know,
it's
yeah.
I think about the original days, like
Yeah.
if you were handing out sandwiches, it wouldn't have been the same reaction. There is something about a donut, right? A sweet, like a cookie, a donut. Donuts are they're like an American. They're deep in the roots of the culture of Americana, you know, and it's always been a part of kind of the Saturday morning. You see these kind of things where the kids get up with their dad or mom, and they go to the donut shop on the weekend. And,
yeah.
There's something visceral and very. It's like a community building type.
Like ice cream.
Food. It's kind of like ice cream, yeah. And you share it, and it's warm, and there's a whole experience around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, now I just feel like with your business. I mean, what does your day-to-day life look like? I mean, are you just stressed out? I mean,
not overly stressed. I mean, there's plenty of stressful moments. I think it's for me. It's really always trying to solve how to maintain, you know, the integrity of the brand.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it, and trying to steer the ship in the right direction and make the right decisions, and continue to cast the vision for what we're doing every day.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing that? Why do we get up and do this? It's not easy work. I mean, the people in the stores are working really hard, and they're going above and beyond in a lot of cases. And you know, every day they look at themselves and go, why did I do that again? You know? And, you know, our mission is to really revolutionize the way people experience donuts. I mean, I think there is a lot of people tell me I don't like donuts, but I like Sidecar donuts. I don't eat donuts, but I eat Sidecar donuts. And
interesting.
And that's what we want to kind of do is, like we said, revolutionize the way people experience donuts, from the hot freshness, you know, the made from scratch, all that process is something that I think we own, the only people that do it. And we want to make sure that we continue to do that and hold ourselves accountable to those kind of standards.
Yeah. And then, so how involved is your family with, like, right now with day-to-day operations?
My family directly, mostly just me, you know.
Okay.
My wife is, she has other projects that she's involved in, and other passions, and she's a mom, which is a full-time job, and one of the hardest jobs to do in the world, so I'm very thankful for her to be doing that. So it's really mostly me day to day. Yeah,
that's amazing. And then, so how do you feel? I mean, you had your early brands with Instagram and all of that. So do you stick with the same recipe that you have, or how are things changing now in terms of, you know?
The basic cake recipes and yeast recipes are exactly the same. We do keep about 8 to 10 core flavors. Our core flavors, which are butter and salt, huckleberry, cinnamon crumb, birthday cake, the vanilla ring, maple bacon. You know, those like never change. And then we have some weekly specials, like our apple fritters on Friday. We have our cinnamon rolls on Wednesdays. We have malasadas on Mondays. And then we have seasonal ones every quarter, like 3 or 4 that we
because you had the Dubai chocolate one, right?
Yeah, we did that last year. I mean, it was just nuts. Yeah, we're rolling over. The Dubai chocolate, which was insane. So so we the only thing we really change is trying to keep up with trends and do fun and exciting flavors and keep it chef forward and drive excitement with flavors.
Exactly. So what's like a typical day look like for you, like day in the life?
I mean, I like to get out to the stores as much as possible. You know, I try not to let office work get in my way. Get out, see the people, see the stores, make sure that we're executing on a high level and that we're living up to our expectations. Try coffee, try donuts. You know.
How do you stay fit? What's
walk,
the secret?
Just walk.
Walk. Okay.
Park far away and walk or something. You know, go. 6, 7 at night. Go to the gym.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think, and then, like I said, I think it's most of my time is spent trying to just manage people, obviously, but also continue to think about how best to navigate forward. and keep the integrity of the business.
Yeah, because you were talking about, people who are doing really hard work, showing up, giving, more than 100% every day. Or like, how do you find these people? Like, where did these, where did you get these?
They're more out there than you think,
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people badmouth, the next generation coming up, but there are still people out there that take pride in what they do, have great work ethic. It does take communication, and it does help. It does take helping to somehow connect what they're doing today with what they could possibly be doing later, right? I mean, how does working in this shop help you build, you become an architect later? I mean, but there's so many life lessons in just working. Like how you show up at this job, even though this isn't what you're going to do the rest of your life, will be a good indicator of how you show up the rest of your life. So why not take pride in it and start the habits now, and helping them see that and be like, yeah, I know you don't want to do this the rest of your life. You don't want to serve donuts or make donuts the rest of your life, but there's a lot of lessons here for what you want to eventually do. So
that's amazing. So what is like, well, we had the Salt Lake City location, but what's like the future?
Next?
What's next?
Well, we're going to do a couple more in Utah. We want to do one in South Utah, which is like
Provo,
American Fork, somewhere in there, and then maybe St. George, and then Vegas, Arizona, Scottsdale. Those are the kind of areas we've singled out right now.
So you're planning like
we're going forward.
Mass expansion. But how is it? Have you already had to deal with scaling and ingredients and cost? And
I think sad to say, because I love California, but it is very difficult to do business in California for a lot of reasons. And being out of state has proved to be more profitable. Right. I mean, for a lot of reasons, Utah's been great. And Nevada, I can only imagine, will be awesome, and Arizona. So, we're excited. We're excited to keep growing and find new people to give our product to.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, and what's like the best? I mean, do you have a personal mentor, or like what's kind of the best business advice?
I wish I had. I mean, my business partner, Bob Nielsen, has been a fabulous mentor, somebody who's done it at a high level. So I lean on him for a lot of things. And, I think nothing better than going through it yourself.
You learn by experience, right?
Ultimately you have to. Words are words, and then you just have to get in there and take your lumps and figure it out for yourself in a lot of ways.
I know.
Make mistakes, but keep trying and keep getting up and keep moving in the right direction.
I know. Do you sometimes think like, would you do it all over again if you knew?
No. I know. No. I'd stay with one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I can't wait to expand. I'm like, settle down.
Right? You would just stick with one? Yeah, this is what you...
Have fun, dude. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, so what... like, what do you tell? I mean, what is your advice to, the people
I guess everybody's different, and everybody has different goals. Bigger is not always better.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's kind of that American, like, oh, I'm going to just grow it, this kind of, I want to get big, and... But bigger's not. I think quality and integrity is more important sometimes. One of my big influences was a family friend that owned the Hillstone Group, which is Houston's, Bandera, Gulfstream, all those guys.
Oh wow! Okay,
and they're just amazing operators, and that's a brand that I look up to when it comes to a type of. They've expanded. I probably have 50 or so. I worked there when I was just out of college. Yeah. And everyone has executed at such a high level, despite having lots of locations and being spread out throughout the country. Right? They have them all over the country, and they day in and day out, they don't have to do a lot of advertising because it's so well run and so consistent. And they've been doing it for a long time. I guess it's probably started. It's older than I am. They're probably almost 50 years old.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell that. You walk into a restaurant, you could think, oh, this is brand new, You think about the Chili's or the Applebee's, all the other people who are in the steakhouse business or the Mortons, and they just continue to pour into that. And it's like now the dad's giving it to the sons, and the sons are carrying on the legend or the business. So that inspires me.
Yeah.
Like that type of thing where it's not trying to go get a million restaurants. It's like, how do you do what you do and continue to do it really well?
Do it really well, yeah.
And do it as much as you can, but without compromising. I think that's...
What about branching outside of donuts?
Ooh. I have a bunch of ideas.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying not to get distracted. I'm artistic by nature, and if I get distracted and go, oh, I'll go over there. But I gotta stay very focused. It's not, look, one thing too, it's not easy to create a brand that people like that can actually grow. I mean, that's first step is just if you created something that actually makes money. That's hats off. I mean, that's really hard to do. And then expanding it beyond that is even another step. So I don't take it for granted. I've created other things that haven't done very well. Yeah. Or I had to close, or, it just didn't take off for whatever reason. Yeah. And when you get one, it's like, wow, that's a gift. Yeah. Don't forget about it. Yeah, or take it for granted.
Ride the wave. Yeah. And
ride the wave.
Ride the wave. But how do you personally, I mean, with so many, pressures of being a father and husband, and then also with work and everything. So how do you stay personally grounded, or do you have,
Oh, that's a good question.
Right? Do you do the green smoothie?
Hopefully I am.
Do you do the green smoothie?
I don't do a green smoothie. Okay. No, I do coffee.
Okay.
Lots of coffee.
Stumptown coffee.
Yeah, well, I make lots of coffee. That's a good question. I guess I hope I am grounded. Spiritual practices and stuff like that help. My wife started a tea ceremony space.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, called Village Tea Hut, which is amazing. And I think that's a very grounding meditation. Prayer, stuff like that, is a grounding. At least it helps give you perspective, like not to take it too seriously.
Yeah,
there are other important things out there.
I know, right?
It's donuts. It's not donuts. It's not brain cancer. It's like I'm not solving world hunger. But at the same time, the connection and community that it gives, and the stories that we hear. I mean, from people who use Sidecar to soothe really horrible experiences in their lives, is like a place to go to feel like to grieve or to celebrate. I mean, it is amazing what food can do. Yeah. Right. It's such a community building thing.
Yeah, it is.
We take it seriously, but not, like it's too much. Too seriously, I guess.
Have you, because you've been in Orange County for a long time, but did you grow up?
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came out here to go to college, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. The only person that I knew that went to California, maybe one other guy went to Pepperdine.
Oh, okay.
From my graduated class. And spent a lot of time in Central Coast, California. And then moved down here in the early 2000s and to do clothing.
Did you spend time in Europe? Because I remember when we were talking before, you spent time in Europe as a kid? Or
my parents had a house in France, and we spent a lot of summers there. So it did spend a lot of time. And Europe has a big place in my heart, and had a big influence on me, just the aesthetics, spending a lot of time there, and their love of pastries and food and
the quality ingredients.
They definitely celebrate food.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like lunch is 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No, it's lunch is 2 hours. You're having wine. There's I think it was like a 40-minute news session, and they were just talking about potatoes. They're very serious. Yeah. They're just talking about all the different kinds of potatoes that you can use for each, for frying, for baking, and you know. So,
they take food as a very community building, family building event. Like you said, multiple hours. A quick service restaurant is not really a thing. I mean, they have fast food, but outside of that, it's like, no, we're going to take our time. There's a whole kind of pace to life that's quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys go to visit often, or like?
I don't as much anymore because
you're
a lot to
chained
do,
to the
but,
sidecar
I hope
machine.
to. I hope to come do it more.
Yeah, to bring your kids.
Yeah.
Right? And
we've taken there a couple of times, but definitely not as often as I went. My parents still go. In fact, they're on their way there in a day or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
But the love of food and quality and that whole thing is inspiring.
Yeah, I spent 10 or 11 years in France. I just got back.
Yeah, then well.
Yeah.
It's such a different pace.
It is. It's different. It was like 6 weeks of vacation, and 35-hour work weeks, and like people will just go, like they'll just go for a run or like a hike or something at their lunch break, you know. And there's no TV in the living room. That's a beauty, right? I mean, there are aspects of it I love, and there's aspects of the United States I love. I love the kind of like, what would you call it? This kind of cowboy-esque part of the United States, where it's just entrepreneurial spirit to come out, and that's what I loved about California. It was like, unlike Atlanta. It was this place of opportunity, and it seemed like everybody who had that mentality, it just moved. It was just like, that's where you go. Yeah. Just go out there and do something. And the spirit of just that is so great. We have Silicon Valley, and you have, Hollywood and all these things of these people who just have big dreams and they can get done, which is awesome. It's awesome. So I love that aspect of the United States. The wild, wild west. Yeah. There's just that entrepreneurial kind of like, do what it takes, go get it, have a dream big, and make it happen, which is fantastic. But then the Europe has the how to enjoy it, I guess. Once how to enjoy it while you're on the ride. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, is there anything else you wanted to tell our viewers, listeners?
Other than to try, so if you haven't tried it, please come in, and I encourage you to. Yeah, come into the store, have the experience of the freshest donut in the world, and we hear it a lot. I think one of the biggest things to a new market, like we're going to these new markets, is like they hear like, oh, it's a donut shop. They're like, a donut shop? That's not very exciting. Like, I hate donuts, or they just have this feeling about donuts that they're not good. I don't know if they hate them, but it's just like a food that comes across as like. I don't know how to say
like working class or something like.
Well, it's just not made from scratch. You know what I mean? It's not. It's so unhealthy because it's like a bag mix of some sort, and it's just kind of it's just not something they would feel good after eating. A lot of people are like, oh, it makes me feel bad when I eat it, so I don't like to eat it. And then they have a sidecar donut, and they're like, oh, wait. I don't feel that bad.
They're not very sweet. Yeah, I had the gluten-free chocolate one and then chocolate glazed, and it not very sweet, and then kind of melty in the center, kind of melt in the mouth, a little crispy around the edges. And I didn't feel heavy after eating. I had to.
Right. I think for a lot of people, it's either it makes them feel bad or like lethargic, and they're like, dude, I don't want that. But when they have ours, like, oh my gosh, I can have a donut now. Like this actually it's like a really good muffin.
It doesn't even feel like indulgent. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't feel like you're killing yourself.
So all these so-called non-donut eaters can become donut eaters again. Yeah. Like, trust me. Like, you'll have the experience of like, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And then technically when you deep fry things, the fat is pushed to the outside. It's not really absorbed.
Thank you. I need to tell people that more often.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we could probably talk for a long time, but that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. Well, everyone, that's the time that we have for today. We'll see you next time on Walk-ins Welcome. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Ivy Eats and TikTok at The Ivy Eats. See you next time.